Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase, Ishana Murti has is 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagwan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nityananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamala Pita Sarvanya Pita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Surya Vamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagwan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness Nityananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Nityananda Jnana Paddhati for the depth dimension, the power of manifesting depth, this bending of the spoon to bring it to normal again through the third eye. Now we'll go to the satsang for Bhagavad Gita decoded by Bhagavan, giving us the powerful cognition.
Both verses together you need to understand. Let me give you the translation. The one who has made the sense objects remain outside by retaining the sight between the eyebrows, being in deep meditation, by balancing the life breath that moves inward and outward through the nostrils, by subduing the senses, the thoughts and the intelligence, having removed desire, fear and anger, being intent upon loosening the bonds, remains always relaxed and free.
Do you believe somebody could be trained potentially to sense information?
Sacred secrets. First, Bhagavan starts with the lifestyle. The first line he says is, the one who has made the sense objects remain outside by retaining the sight between the eyebrows. The first part. One who has made the sense objects remain outside. This teaches you enlightened lifestyle. The second statement, retaining the sight between the eyebrows. This is the technique. Please understand. Enlightened lifestyle prepares you for the extraordinary experiences. Techniques gives you extraordinary experiences. Enlightenment, realization, samyama gives you extraordinary powers. See the three classification clearly. Enlightened lifestyle is more life solution. That prepares the ground, root Then comes technique, which gives you extraordinary experiences. Then comes realization, anubhava or anubhuti, which gives extraordinary powers. If you see Jnana life, Jnana is one of the great incarnation. He is considered to be the incarnation of Subramanya, Skanda, because Jnana had Parvati. Parvati's milk, breast milk, the enlightening milk, is considered as the incarnation of Subramanya in the Saiva Siddhanta tradition, one of the great saints. If you see his life, the experience of Devi appearing and giving enlightening milk to him leads to the samyama, realization, an expression of extraordinary powers. In his life, the life solutions did not play much role because from the very young age, he had the extraordinary experiences and powers. If you understand these three classification, many of your confusions related to spirituality will disappear. Many times, people try to think one is enough or one is higher than the other. Please understand, if you are matured, even one is not necessary. In these three, nothing is necessary. Ashtavakra, the moment he is born, he neither had experience nor had any powers, lived enlightenment. Sri Ramakrishna had all the three. Life solutions means enlightened lifestyle, and then the extraordinary experiences, and samyama, the power, realization. In Jnana Sambandha's life, if you see, you will see two things. As a 3-year-old child, he did not study any shastras. He did not start going to school. He did not learn the lifestyle of enlightenment. He did not practice anything. Straight Devi appeared and gave the enlightening milk. And that experience has led to the samyama, realization. And he started expressing extraordinary powers. Neither one is higher than the other, nor one is lower than the other. For ordinary people, all the three are required. Don't try to have just one, not the other. If you have only technique, you may have extraordinary powers, but you may not have enlightened lifestyle, the lifestyle of compassion, love, the nervous system to radiate the joy. You may be missing that. I have seen many street magicians in India. They have real powers. Please understand, they are not just doing some magic. They have miraculous powers. I myself have seen that the street, some of the tribes who are followers of one or two of the techniques, they will follow just one or two techniques and have one or two powers. I have seen them converting ash into kumkum, just an ordinary rope into snake. It is not magic, it's a real power. They play with the miraculous powers. But they miss an important dimension of life, the enlightened lifestyle. Because of that, these powers are not useful to their life. It is not useful to others' life. Yesterday somebody asked me, Swamiji, I have studied many of the spiritual philosophies, organizations, followers. I have read many spiritual literatures, modern day spiritual organization. One thing I can distinctly see the difference with your teachings and your organization. Your teachings, either your teachings or your disciples, so intense in everything. How is this, Swamiji? How do you manage it? That is why I have to suffer so much. Really. See the amount of intensity. I don't cut brinjals. I cut diamonds. Understand, when you cut brinjal, the stress and strain is lot less. The pressure you need to apply is lot less. The work you need to do is lot less. But when you cut diamond, the stress and strain is too much. Even if you pour millions of liters of coolants, coolants become steam in the heat produced. My love is the coolant. But how much ever I produce, I pour the coolants. The very heat I create makes all the coolant into steam. If you know the diamond cutting process, you will understand what I am saying. Coolant is usually used to reduce the stress and strain during the cutting process, the grinding process. In Manasarovar, this time, usually I drop something in Manasarovar. It's a tradition when you go to Manasarovar or Varanasi, you drop some of your important patterns there and come back. What pattern I have? I have nothing. Last time somehow I find something to drop. I have decided to drop. Whoever comes to me for any boon, I will not judge. Any power expresses through this body blesses that, attests. Over. Only yes. No, no. I dropped the no and I am leaving. This time what will I drop? I tried my best. Finally I found one thing. I don't have anger itself in my heart, but sometime to train the disciples I show that Rudra Rupa. I've decided I'll drop that. So you guys will not, I don't know, especially people who live around me or lived around me can't believe. Almost last 20 days I am not screaming at anybody. I have not raised my voice. I have not shown my big eyes. I also told my disciples that we will do a brain study on me, that even that anger grew, and the red cells which is responsible for anger has disappeared from my brain. The moment I said I am dropping, dropped, over.
Beautiful how Bhagwan is giving us a very powerful cognition how Rama lived, Ashtavakra lived, how we can live as Paramashiva, manifesting, enjoying, radiating the powers of Paramashiva. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana for the depth dimension.
Verse 1.16 Shuddha Tattva Sandhanadva Apashu Shaktihi Shuddha Tattva Sandhanadva Apashu Shaktihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16.
From the Shiva Sutras, verse 1.16. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16. By fixing the self and aiming the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being, that's all that exists in Paramashiva, the pure essence, and attaining and uniting with that pure essence and existential reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva's infinite powers. Bhagavan beautifully says, not only we have to experience these powers, but live in the bliss and contribute to the world. How Ashtavakra and Rama lived. Ashtavakra was living the whole science, and Jnana Sambandar got the Devi's milk and started living right from the young age. And Rama, not only he lived and contributed and manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. Wherever he went, he did the Abhishekam for the Lord Shiva's linga and established a linga in every place. And beautifully, Ravana, even for the war, wore the linga after his Atma Puja and Guru Puja and Shiva Puja. Such a beautiful space, all of them manifested great powers and also started being in the ultimate consciousness. The great Siddhars, the Rishis, Munis, how we had the Agasthyar, Bogar, Machendar, Korakkar. Gorakkar once went and got food for Machendar. Machendar had asked for the vada and he asked for the lady to give the vada. And the lady said, will you give your eyes if your guru asks, why are you asking for vada and all? We'll give what is there. He says, here my eyes, you can give vada now. And Machendar went to Korakkar went to Machendar and gave the vada. He said, what happened to your eyes? And simply he said, the lady asked for my eyes, so I gave it. He simply manifested the eyes. Korakkar has done amazing possible miracles. And they spoke to all the plants. The plants revealed. There was no research and development. The plants came and revealed themselves. Bhagavan says to get all the knowledge. Bhagavan says whenever he wants to learn something, he just humbly surrenders his space and the knowledge just happens, downloads in him. That is how he gains all the knowledge, whether it's HTML or any knowledge about anything. So beautiful the way we exist, the enlightened way of being, manifesting, living, radiating, everything is so wonderful to see Bhagavan's life and all these great Siddhas, Munis, Rishis' life. Bhagavan beautifully gave a very powerful cognition to remind ourselves the great divinity, how powerful we are from the space of I am Paramashiva. Now let's go to the Apta Pramana for depth dimension, bending the spoon and making the bend normal again to the third eye. After meeting his friend Sudama, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 42. Krishna and his elder brother Balarama walked through the streets of Madura and encountered Kubja, a young hunchback maidservant of the king Kamsa. She had beautiful face and carried a plate of ointment with her. Krishna praised her beauty and asked for the ointment in return of the boon. She introduced herself as Trivarka, one who is bent in three places. Mesmerized by Krishna's charm, she grants him the ointment and she was taking for the king. Pleased, Krishna pressed his toe on her feet and placed the finger on fingers of both his hands under her chin and raised the finger, which straightened her body, Kubja turned into a beautiful woman. Bhagwan has manifested extraordinary powers and such beautiful space of creating the enlightened beings through his deep compassion of love. Now let's go to Atma Pramana, Bhagwan's Leela that Bhagwan narrates. Atma Pramana, this is one of those who are already on the going to be Kailasavasi in a month. The highest state and space in I am manifesting now is going to be opened for the first right holders, the Kailashavasi, through the Swarupa Samadhi initiation. Anyone interested can get initiated into the new powers manifestation, initiation of Swarupa Samadhi. Side effect of Swarupa Samadhi will be spoon bending and levitation and materialization. And all other powers, consciousness, conscious integrated relationship with your Guru makes you live enlightenment and manifest oneness and powers of Paramashiva. Just simple, straightforward definition of integrity with the Guru, not giving surprise to me in our manifestation of Swarupa Samadhi relationship. It is just simple, straightforward communication with Paramashiva and simple manifestation. Very simple, but very powerful cognition are enough for you to manifest Swarupa Samadhi. Now let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramanas are the millions of disciples around the world who have been initiated by Bhagavan, demonstrating and manifesting and giving us the testimonial of the power manifestation. Here we have Balasans. She's 13 years old, Vrishanka. And today was a breakthrough for me. The first time I started doing the power of bending the spoon just with a command. I was a bit reluctant to do it. I thought it won't happen that easily. But today, the moment I sat to manifest the power, I remembered how other kids just manifested it. So I decided and made the decision to myself. The moment I started chanting the Mahavakya and went into a space of oneness with Swamiji, the spoon bent automatically, and I was able to continuously do it for 6 times after that. Such amazing part that Bhagavan has given into all these Balasans, extraordinary powers to become the crown princess. Now let's go to the instruction and Pratyaksha Pramana for manifesting the power of bending and unbending the spoon, the depth, the dimension.
Pratyaksha Pramana. Scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nityananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is a very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see, it got to be one. If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Whole brain activation studies were done on Nityananda Gurukul students. The Bender-Gestalt test assesses the level of whole brain activation, the student's ability to see the big picture and recall the details of it. It is more than an IQ test. It was showing outstanding results on the memory ability of the Gurukul students. It is very unusual for students to remember such a high number of Gestalt forms. Each Gurukul student attended to the test card carefully and persistently transposed the Gestalt form. Remaining calm, cool, and collected, they initially approached each Gestalt form with a keen observation and analysis of the form, and then exhibited a steady perseverance, attending 8-minute details. Source: Avatar Shastra, Chapter 8, Third Eye Awakening, page 177. Charting Future Terrain with Higher Education. This article explores the role of contemplative practices within an emerging interdisciplinary area that are referred to as creativity and consciousness studies. Within the new area, consciousness is studied from an integral perspective that brings together insights from a range of wisdom traditions and modern science. Meditation is presented as an essential first-person modality for investigating consciousness, and formal and non-formal approaches to meditation and delineated to establish important guidelines for the introduction of meditation into an academic setting. The role of first-person experience helps to develop new notions of rigor and interdisciplinary learning that can lead to an expanded educational experience, which can help to develop qualities such as mental clarity, inner calm, insights, compassion, and creativity. The article closes with reflections on the importance of expanding our approach to education in light of the demanding challenges and creative opportunities in today's world. Source: Meditation, Creativity, and Consciousness.
Power of depth dimension. Bending the spoon and making a bent spoon normal again through third eye. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need a camera with a timestamp, Yananjana, and a spoon. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Step number 1, download the timestamp app. Step number 2, click on video. Step number 3, ensure that time is shown on screen. And step number 4, make sure the camera is facing you. Please take a few minutes to set it up. Guidelines. Before we start the manifestation process, let us get ourselves ready with the guidelines. For setup, choose a comfortable location where you will sit. Step number 2, set up your camera in front of you to fully capture the bending of the spoon. To start, step number 3, turn on the video recording device with timestamp. Step number 4, if you have Jnana, apply between your eyebrows. If you do not, bring your awareness to your brow center. Step number 5, sit straight, hold the object upright in one hand. Ensure object is fully visible to the camera. Step number 6, bring your awareness between your brow center and gently focus on the object while connecting to Paramashiva. Step number 7, sit for 21 minutes unclutching from all the thoughts that arise during the continuous chanting of the Mahavakya. Enjoy the experience. Step number 8, after the Mahavakya subsides, ensure that the bending and coming back to the normal movements of the spoon are captured on camera. Step number 9, manifestation range of outcomes. Number 1, temperature change in the object and or in the body. Number 2, object vibration. Number 3, any bending from minimum to maximum on its own. Number 4, any position towards straightening back to the original form. And number 10, turn off your camera. Celebrate your manifestation of bending an object and bringing it to normal again through the third eye. Now, let us listen to the spiritual instructions.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now, let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here, first, we will see in Bhagavan's words, what is Shakti Pada?
Let me give an introduction about what is Shakti Pada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful, avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, When you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just on jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nityananda. Nityananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched, complete completion, to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva, that everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Nityananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivam.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process. Please ensure to thoroughly verify the following. Number 1. Time and date stamp appear in your video. Number 2. Video has a wide angle horizontal view and spoon is in clear full view from setup to verification. Number 3. Video recording is continuous without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Camera has not moved and zero editing is done to the video. Number 4. Spoon bent on its own and came back to normal again on its own. No external physical pressure or other external aid. Now that the verification process is complete, the next instructions will guide you where to upload and share your video. Thank you so much for your participation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nityananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nityananda.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham